Willkommen in einen aufregendes video. Welcome to another exciting video, in this case episode 18 of my game design series of videos. In this video I'll be providing a brief overview of Napoleonic naval rules. To a large extent this video is a placeholder and will start with only a very brief overview of Napoleonic naval rules. I have to admit gaming Napoleonic naval quite a lot back in the 1990s, but mainly in a board game format. I used to play S&T Fighting Sail in board gaming competitions quite a bit. So as a result, the range of rules that I'll be covering in this video is fairly minimal. I expect to expand that as I expand or develop or study additional rules in the future. To a large extent, or as far as I'm aware, all the rules that I cover here, each naval figure represents one real naval vessel. There's little attempt to scale the figures, which means it will be difficult to refight the larger Napoleonic naval battles, although, I must admit, not impossible. Because of my limited knowledge of Napoleonic naval wargaming rules, I'm not going to make any attempt to analyse the game systems or provide an overview of the history of the development of these rules. Instead, I'll simply list all the rules that I'm aware of, or at least the rules that I've investigated at this point in time. Man o' War is a very concise rule set for Napoleonic naval warfare using 1/3000 scale ship miniatures. The rules are self-described as having loopholes in them, but if you like your games fast, furious and bloody, these rules should work for you. There is much definition, or many definitions, missing from the rule, and they would appeal to gaming friends who do not mind compromising on complexity and who are not prone too much over arguing over rules. Damage is recorded on record cards, so record keeping is required, which is a bit of a negative. However, the rules themselves are extremely simple and easy to play, although they will take a bit of effort learning because of the format of the rules. Fighting Sail is a simulation of naval warfare during the Age of Sail. 9 scenarios are presented in the game, dealing with small-scale naval actions from the American Revolution to the Napoleonic Wars and the War of 1812. I really liked these rules, and while I mainly played this game as a board game, I did try it with actual figures when I found an opponent who actually had some sail figures, or figures appropriate. The game is all about manoeuvring and understanding how to sail, with the combat being very simple and enjoyable. The British tactic was always to board, while the French preferred long-range fire combat, which these rules reflect very well. The scenarios are limited, or were limited, and the sailing ships equally limited, but in a figure gaming format none of that particularly matters, and players can actually create their own naval vessels if they do a bit of research. Fire as She Bears 2nd edition is designed to fight miniature naval battles during the Age of Sail. Although this set was specifically intended for the Revolutionary and Napoleonic era, with modifications it's also suited for simulating naval combat after the adoption of line of battle as a standard tactical formation, basically after the Anglo-Dutch Wars of 1652-1675. Any scale of ship model may be used from 1/2400 to 1/900. Some intrepid gamers have even used ships from Pirates of the Spanish Main from FASB. The game has been designed with ease of play in mind. In the rules, many aspects of naval warfare have been abstracted. Nonetheless, overall fleet actions will result in historical outcome. The game stresses command control and the chaos of fleet actions without written orders or excessive paperwork. Players are not required to write out individual ship orders, as in other rule sets. Each player commands a squadron of several ships, or perhaps an entire fleet. Fire as She Bears allows you to refight even the largest naval battles in a reasonable length of time. The unique variable initiative system adds a different tempo to the flow of action, providing both fog of war and an air of increased tension. Many players report that FASB is ideal for solitaire play. The 2nd edition rule set is published in PDF format. There are over 30 pages of rules, numerous tables and sailing charts, 25 pages of full colour examples of play, 3 scenario or sample scenarios, over 80 pages of ship record ships, and an Excel spreadsheet for creating other ship record sheets. Included are the standard rules as well as optional rules for fort, night actions, fog, fire ships, etc., and special rules applying only to frigates and sloops. Fire as She Bears 2nd edition is based on the experience gained after FASB 1st edition was published in 1999. There are substantial differences between the 1st and 2nd edition. Players familiar with the original FASB should have no trouble grasping these 2nd edition rules. In this updated 2.1 edition of the rules, we have greatly reduced the download side from 32 meg down to less than 5 meg, as well as sprucing up the graphics for more professional appearance than gamers have come to expect from online PDF products. Please note that the rules in the 2.1 edition are identical to those found in the 2.0 edition. Only cosmetic changes have been made. Ship of the Line allows players to play out classic sea battles in the Age of Fighting Sail using these rules. The PDF has everything you need to play except dice, including rules, maps and counters. Ship of the Line is for 2 or more players, and a typical game will take an hour or less to finish. Ship of the Line includes full rules for all manner of ships, including brigs, sloops, frigates and ships of the line, unusual vessels such as fire ships, explosive ships, bomb vessels and galleys, fortifications such as floating batteries and fort islands, reefs, shallows, harbours and other terrain types, caronels, round shot, chain shot, hot shot and other unusual ammunition type. Crew quality and the legendary officer prize money and rules for campaign play. A complete random scenario generator it creates scenarios for such major historical battles such as Campertown, the Nile, the Battle of Trafalgar. Extensive notes on real ships which saw service in the late 18th and early 19th century, including French, Spanish, British, Dutch and Danish ships, and much more. Like its sister product, Blazing Jets and Biplane Barmy, Ships of the Line uses the Choose the Move system, which plays a strong emphasis on tactical thinking. If you enjoy these games, you'll love this set of rules. Ship of the Line is 77 pages in length and is in full colour. In the years between 1776 and 1815, grand, square, rigged sailing ships dominated warfare on the high seas. Fighting Sail is a tabletop wargame of fleet actions in this period. In the age of canvas, cannon and timber, players take on the role of fleet admirals in battles ranging from the American War of Independence to the Napoleonic War and the War of 1812. Each ship has access to different ships, or each fleet has access to different ships, tactics, and command personalities, each with its own strengths and weaknesses, offering a unique blend of detail and simplicity. The scenarios include enabling the recreation of historical actions or even what-if scenarios. War by Sail is a simple yet comprehensive Age of Sail wargame aimed at small fleet actions of 3 to 30 ships per side, with a focus on historical accuracy and flavour. Researched and playtested for 10 months, War by Sail includes detailed ship rosters for 20 different conflicts, spanning from 1563 to 1812. Generic units are also provided for the 1300 to 1550 period. A generic ship list is given for each period, such as third rate, fourth rate, etc., as well as individual named ships, over 1,700 in total, showing each ship's weaponry, size, manoeuvrability and such like. Get ready to learn how many demi-cannons and culverts your favourite 17th century English ship had. War by Sail emphasises crew quality and morale, as well as real tactics of the period, and carefully reflects changes in naval technology throughout the century. Some of the conflicts covered in the rules are, obviously, there are generic ships, 1300 to 1550, the Northern 7-Year War, 1563 to 1570, Battle of Lepanto, 1571, Spanish Armada, 1588, First Anglo-Dutch War, 1652 to 1654, Second Northern War, 1655 to 1660, Second Anglo-Dutch War, 1665 to 1667, Third Anglo-Dutch War, 1672 to 1674, Scantian War, 1675 to 1679, 9-Year War, 1688, and so on and so forth. Far Distant Ships is a quick playing set of rules covering fleet actions in the Age of Sail where linear tactics were the fore. The aims of these rules, which draw upon techniques and concept from LFG, Cannon, Cross and Crescent, combined with a development span covering some 20 years, has been to develop a quick play set of rules that focuses on the command and control aspects of the battle, allowing large battles such as Sheepstake Bay, the Saints and Trafalgar to be played out in an evening's gaming. Signalling is key, and complex plans may fall apart if a vital signal is missing or an order executed late. The rules cover the main ship types involved across the period, focusing on ships of the line and rated frigates, in particular in their role as signal repeaters. Stats also are included for civilian ships, smaller warships and bomb ships, and shore batteries and fortifications, allowing the full spectrum of naval operations to be played. The rules have been written with 2400 models in mind, but will work with other scales. The set has been updated to include the Anglo-Dutch War supplement, which allows battles from the 17th century to be played out using these rules. As indicated at the beginning of the video, I'll almost certainly come back to this video and update it as I gain additional experience in this area, but at the moment I have no real solid comments concerning the game systems for most of these sets of rules. I simply lack the experience of enough rules to provide a reasonable analysis, but I can testify SPI's Fighting Sail is easy to learn and a lot of fun to play. And so we come to a conclusion of my episode 18 of my video on game system design, which in this case provides an overview of Napoleonic naval figure gaming rule, which includes pretty much everything around the age of sails. Alle guten Dinge, kommen zu einem Ende.